In our Parashat Vayera, we are learning about Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu, our forefather, Hashem, he's revealing himself to Avraham, and he said, Avraham, I want you to do Brit Milah. Avraham is looking at Hashem, he says, I am 99 years old. And at that time, it wasn't anesthesia, it wasn't in all this stuff, right? So he says, Hashem, why did you do this to me? Hashem said, I want you to do the Brit Milah. This is the alliance between you and me. So Avraham, after that revelation, he went to his friends. And he said to his friend, look, God came to me. At that time, his friends trust him, believed him. And he said to his friends, he said, look, God came to me and he told me to make the Brit Milah. Should I do it or not? And the Torah, it doesn't say the Torah, Midrash says that. He was 3 friends. I will tell them the names for you to know, and I will tell you what each one of them answered. He was the first one, Aner. Aner, he said, what you going into? You are mixing up into a big problem. Hashem, God, Hashem to speak like that, but this is what Aner said. He wants to make you with a disability. He wants to make you handicap, disability. Don't do it. This is the first friend. Second friend, he was Eshkol. Avraham said, what do you think? Eshkol said, yes, you need to do it. It's Hashem, he told you to do it, but after all, you are old guy. You are an old guy, it's not for you. It will put you in danger. Don't do it. And then he turned to the third friend, which the name was Mamre. He said, what do you think? Mamre said, you need to do it. Hashem told you to do it. Do it. So we have 3 friends. And Avraham had 3 opinions. First one said, don't do it. Hey, how are you? How are you doing? Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. David, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. And how are you? Nice to meet you too, David. So what we saw here, we saw that we have 3 friends, and each one told him 3 opinions, 3 vision. And he said, Avraham, so what should I do? What should I do? And then he said, Avraham, you know what? I will go with Mamre. I will do it. And therefore, the parasha start off with Vayera elav Hashem be'elone Mamre. Hashem revealed himself where? In the place of Mamre. The Chachamim are asking, why Hashem is revealing himself to that place? What's special about that place? If you tell me the Bet HaMikdash, the temple, something holy, okay. But Mamre is the friend of Avraham. Now we understand why. Because Mamre is the one that pushed Avraham to do the Brit Milah. And since the Brit Milah is a deep connection between Avraham and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, therefore Hashem decided to reveal himself where? In Elone Mamre. So I thought this is the best topic ever. Because we are young, we are in school. Some of you, I'm sure that you are still in school, and you have friends. And the question of tonight is how to choose good friends. How to know how to choose friends. Because you could have many people that will impact you. But to have a bad friend, there is no such thing that is lower than that. The bad friend could bring you to Thailand. He could bring you to do the worst stuff possible. And this is from our parasha tonight. We're going to try to understand together how to choose a good friend. First, how do we know that from the parasha? Because Avraham had 3 friends, Aner, Eshkol, and Mamre. And who Avraham chose? Mamre. And the question is, why Avraham listened to Mamre? He was able to say, yes, Eshkol is right. Eshkol said, I'm too old to do the Brit Milah without anesthesia. That's at 99 years old. We cannot understand that. So why he did not go with Eshkol? Chachamim are coming and saying, what's the difference between Mamre and Aner and Eshkol? And through that, we're going to understand what is the main point to a good friend. He said, Mamre, he is the only one that said to Abraham, you have an issue in your life, just take a step back and look at the general picture. And this is the point. Sometimes in our lives, we are getting into a situation that we are feeling that the world now is ending. It's sometimes a big problem in family, sometimes it's a big problem in a financial problem, sometimes is something very bad, and then you say, I cannot anymore, that's it. And Chaz Shalom, there is some kids, some young guys that are ending their life like this because they are feeling that the world is done, that's it, I'm not here. Mamre is coming to teach to Avraham, to every Jew, when you are in the end, just take a step back and look in the general picture. What does that mean? You have to ask yourself one question. Is it the first time that I am in that situation or not? Most of the time, you will, if you think good, you will see that in the past also you had several times that you had the tests. You need to look in the general picture and you say to yourself, just like at the beginning, like 1 year ago, 2 years ago in the past, I had a test. I had a situation that I felt, just like now, that the world is done now, I cannot hold anymore. And Hashem helped me at that time. So you need to compare the situation and say, so that Hashem will help also that situation. How do we see that in Mamre? In the answer of Mamre. Mamre told Avraham, I don't understand. Are you supposed to be alive now? You are not supposed to be alive. Why? Very simple. Your father Terach threw you into the fire. Why? Because you started to believe in God. And he was an idol believer, and he couldn't stand the fact that he has a son believing in something else than the idols. So he threw you into the fire. What did Hashem? Hashem, he made a miracle, and he saved you. So first story that you was supposed to die. Second story, just like last week, we read in the Torah, that Avraham made a big war against 4 different armies together. And how many people he was with him? 300 people. Against how many people? Millions of people. 3 different armies. And who won? Avraham won, miraculously. So this is 2 times that HaKadosh Baruch Hu had the ability to not help you and to leave you in the fire against the army and to let you die. But Hashem saved you. So maybe this is the time to give him back. Maybe this is the time to give him back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and to be a little bit thankful. You understand? So again, what is the point? When it's the time, whenever HaKadosh Baruch Hu is doing to you something good, give him back. This is what Mamre said. And this is how do we choose a good friend. How do we choose a good friend? One step back and think about your past. And you will see that many times in your life, you have challenges. And Hashem helped you, just like Avraham in the fire, Avraham with the armies. So you need to tell yourself, okay, Hashem will help me also in that situation. This is Mamre. So let's go further. After we understood what is a good friend, this is someone that will tell you to take one step back. I would like to tell you a story. He was one time, right after the Shoah, the Holocaust. He was in Israel, people that was, walking around in the streets that lost their entire family. Hashem Yishmor, this day also we see that those people, with what happened in Israel, there is people that lost their entire family. His wife, his children, his parents, and he's the only one left. And it was very hard for the people, for the people to speak with them. Because when you're coming to someone that lost his parents, his children, and you're telling him, you have to be connected with God, he will say, where God was when the Holocaust happened? I don't know God. Sorry, I don't know. So people, the religious people that wanted to take them back, to bring them back on the way to believe in God, they had a hard time because they lost everything. And one day, he was a guy, he was Rabbi Gad. He also passed the Holocaust, and he also lost his entire family. And his job, he took upon himself to always encourage his surrounding to stay connected with Hashem. And one day, who is meeting? He's meeting his old neighbor of Poland. He was living in Poland before the war, and he had a neighbor under his apartment, and he's meeting him, he was a Jew, in the middle of Tel Aviv. And he says, "Oh, Avraham, how are you? Long time no see. How are you?" And the guy very seriously says to God, he says, "I'm sorry, my name is not Avraham anymore." He says, "Why?" He says, I don't want to be connected with God anymore. He did bad to me. I'm very angry on him. I don't want to see him anymore. Don't call me Avraham." So he says, "Why you say that? He saved you. You know, sometimes we are calling God as a father. Yes, you have a question about a father, but sometimes God is a master, and a master has the ability to hit his servant. And this was happened." So he said, "No, I don't want. I don't understand what is God. I don't want to hear what he says." So he says, God, he says to the guy, he says, I have a question for you. Do you know how a radio is working? At that time, a radio, it was the new invention. So the Avraham, the guy, said, "No, I don't know. I don't know how it works, how..." So he says, "You're believing what it says in the radio, the information, the news, right? So how you could listen to what the radio says and you don't understand? You tell me that you don't understand Hashem, therefore you don't want to listen to him. How you could listen and follow what the radio says if you don't understand how the radio works?" Good answer, right? And the guy was looking at him and he says, "Voila, I didn't think about it," but he didn't tell him that. They left, and after several years, Avraham, he was still walking in a street, in a boulevard, in the middle of a city in Israel, and there is, a motorcycle. Yeah, motorcycle. And at that time, 60 years ago, it was motorcycle, and on the side, it was like one more spot, right? Yeah. Today it's dangerous, so we are not allowed to have it, but it used to be like this. I remember also, I'm not so old, but I remember in France. And the guy, he stopped next to Rav Gad, and he said, "You are looking on that direction, come with me, sit with me on my seat here. I will bring you there." So Rabbi Gad, he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't want," and he's looking on the spot next to the motorcycle, and he says, "What is that? It's weird to me. I don't understand what it is." And then the guy on the motorcycle, he was a religious guy. He said, "And do you understand what is a radio?" And then he remembered the story that happened 10 years ago, that he asked the question to his fellow Avraham, and he said, "Do you understand how it's work a radio?" And the guy, he was shocked. Rabbi Gad, he said, "Wow, it's you, Avraham." He says, "Yes, your question that you asked me at that time touched so much my heart." And I said, "Wow, I don't understand even what's the radio, how it works, and I want to understand how Kadosh Baruch Hu works." And therefore, I came back to the way, to the path. And Rabbi Gad, he went into his motorcycle. He spoke with him. But what we see here, we see from that story that sometimes in life you are asking questions. And you say, "How could I succeed to in that challenge? How could I succeed?" So you have to ask a question, a general question. Do you understand how the world works? Are you even not understanding that? And this will be your answer for your next challenge, because the life is full of challenge. The life is full of challenge. Our job is to believe in God and to overcome those challenges. I have another story. So how do we take, before the story, I have a question. How do we take one step back? It says, Chachamim are coming and saying, the step back that we need to take in order to think about our past and to use it as a way how to overcome our next challenge is the following, with judgment. It was once a mom that she has a very cute child, and one day she was, very disappointed, and she said, some people are very smart. They are using their brain and they are getting stuff quickly, very smart. Some people are not smart, but because they are they want to succeed, so with the time they are getting the point. But you don't have no wisdom and not the other point. You are so dumb. And the mom said that to the child. You are so dumb. And the child said to her mom, he didn't say anything, but he deep inside, he said, I will show you. You think that I am dumb? And he started to work, and very hard, and he put himself into the learning, and he became one of the best guys in charge of the high tech in Israel. And he wrote a book. What it says in the book, one of the things says, how did I get to that position? Because my mom said one day that I was dumb. So that sentence, instead of hurting me and making me bad, make me sad, so I decided to show her. This is what is gvura, judgment. With that way of judgment, you could turn on a motor that you never dreamed about. You're sitting in the class, you have the teacher telling stuff, you're sitting in a shiur, you have the rabbis telling you stuff, and you are asking yourself, I don't understand, I don't get it, it's not for me, leave me alone, please, thank you. But the thing is, no. You have a motor that you need to turn on. And this motor, he could be turning on with someone telling you sometimes things that are hurting you. Sometimes you could have a teacher that telling you stuff that is pushing you, it's rude to you, it's mean. But instead of getting hurt from it, don't get hurt. Just turn on that motor and show the teacher that told you that you are dumb or you are this and you are that, right? And show him that you are not what he said, right? And you know what? We have a big king in our his story, David HaMelech. David HaMelech, King David, he really wanted to build the Beit HaMikdash. He really wanted to build the Beit HaMikdash, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem didn't let him. He said, David HaMelech, I'm sorry, you will not be able to build the Beit HaMikdash. Why? Because you made so many wars and you killed so many people. My Beit HaMikdash is supposed to be a building of peace. A building of peace cannot be built by someone that killed so many people. So David HaMelech said, how could I help? How could I do? So Hashem said to David HaMelech, you know what? You will make the plan of how the Beit HaMikdash will be built. Only the plan, and also the base of the Beit HaMikdash, you will be able to build it. Who will build the building itself? Shlomo HaMelech, your son. Shlomo HaMelech, he was the one that built the Beit HaMikdash. Now, you need to understand, at that time, Shlomo HaMelech was one of the richest guy in the world. The richest guy in the world. Because he was so smart, so he managed to succeed in everything that he's doing, so therefore he managed to have a lot of money. So he brought trees, special wood from Lebanon. Yes. And he brought gold from Africa. He brought diamonds from India. For what? For having a perfect building, which will be the Beit HaMikdash. After everything was complete, the Beit HaMikdash was complete, he made 7 days of festival, of, party, feast. And then what happened? Shlomo HaMelech, he knew the language of animals. He knew the language of the monsters, the spirits. He knows everything. And at the end of those 7 days, he heard 2 birds speaking one with each other. And he hear one bird saying to the other bird, he says, "You know how strong I am." And the birds were in front of the Bet HaMikdash on a tree somewhere. And the other says, what you mean? You're strong? I don't see that you're strong. He says, I'm so strong. You know this building, that is a huge building, right? With one box, I'm destroying the whole Bet HaMikdash. With one box. One punch. The bird. And the other bird says, "Oh wow, you're so strong, you're so powerful." And then Shlomo HaMelech is listening to that. Could you understand a huge building that was unlimited money was poured into that building, and then two small birds are telling you, "I will destroy it with one wing." So Shlomo HaMelech is calling the bird, and he says, "Come here. How dare you say that? Who are you?" So the bird say, to answer to Shlomo HaMelech, "Yes, Shlomo HaMelech, I know that you're so powerful. I know that you're so big. But what is the matter for you that I'm showing off in front of my wife?" He was, the other bird, he was the wife. He was the wife of that bird. And the bird wanted to show off how he's strong in front of his wife, and therefore he said that he is able to destroy the entire building. So basically, Shlomo HaMelech, he learned something new. Sometimes people are speaking about you. They could be your best friend. They could be your best, the closest person that you ever dreamed about. It could be even your parents. It could be your brother, your sister. And behind your back, he's speaking against you. And then when you hear it, you say, "Wow, this is a brother, this is a friend, this is a father, this is a mother. I don't want them." And then you get hurt, and then this. Remember that story. What the bird said to Shlomo HaMelech. "What do you mind that I'm showing off in front of my wife?" Some people are speaking bad about other people. Why? Because they don't have anything else to speak. So they want to get interesting. They want to have, people hearing what they are saying. And how do you get attention? When you speak bad about him, about that, about this, about that. So they are just speaking to get into the group, into the people. But so this is the issue. When you are speaking, when you are looking on the details, Chachamim are coming and saying that if you would only know how other people are speaking about each one of us behind the back, we would never stand it. We would go and fight with everyone. Because, always, and it's happening with everyone, always you have someone that spoke, one sentence behind, but he didn't mean it. He wanted to be interested. He wanted to show off. He wanted to this. He didn't mean it because you are his best friend, and he wanted to, to impress people. So what you should do, you should be the mamre. You should be like the friend of Abraham. Take one step back and look at the story. Look at the people and look and say, my friends, are you, my friends in my life, are they like me? They are my friends? They are close to me or not? In general, just like when you see a person, you say, when he's standing there, you say, wow, he's so beautiful, that person. And then you're getting closer, and you see that here he has something, and here he has something else, and here he has something else, and here he is missing teeth, right? Because when you see in the general, you're so beautiful. But when you get into the details, what's happening? You are not so happy, right? So this is our lesson of tonight. The lesson of tonight is that how to choose a good friend. A good friend is someone that will help you to get one step back and to help you to ask about your past. Did you have a challenge in your past that HaKadosh Baruch Hu or people helped you? And most likely, yes, you had that challenge. So when you are getting into a new challenge in your life, you must tell yourself that just like HaKadosh Baruch Hu helped me in the past, He will also help me in that situation. You getting? So this is basically what we should have. And I think that this is the best idea possible for young guys like us, because impact of friends is the best and is the worst, right? And this is also according to our wisdom. How do you choose good people? Not how they look like, how many money they have. It's only when you have a friend that is like Mamre, that is helping you to look in your life in general. And he's telling you, just like you had the solution in the past challenges, you will have the solution in this challenge. This is a good friend.
Thank you, Rabbi.